Good afternoon, Pats fans, and welcome inside the Brand Center. It's Fan Appreciation Night, as tonight the Regina Pats battle the Brandon Wheat Kings in the final game of the regular season. My name is Dante DeCarry, joined alongside my partner, Drew Posty. We have our pregame award ceremony tonight, as well as giveaways and more as you come through those front doors of the Brand Center. For all season ticket holders, they'll have the opportunity to walk onto the ice and paint the ice after the conclusion of tonight's game. Also, the red jerseys that will be worn in tonight's action will be auctioned off following tonight's hockey game. We've got a really exciting game on and off the ice, Drew, as the Pats welcome the Pats faithful into the Brand Center for one final time. I know it wasn't necessarily the season that I'm sure Pats fans would have wanted, and of course the management and players, but what are some of the takeaways, or what should fans remember about this team this year?
Well, I think they should remember all the moves that General Manager Alan Miller made. Let's remember 18 deals were swung before the end of the trade deadline in January, and if you look back to September, October, there's a lot of new faces since then, so you could see the future building throughout the season, and there were some bright spots even in some losses throughout the year. So it's a very young group, the youngest group in the Western Hockey League that, like you mentioned, has a bright future and should come into next season competing for a playoff spot, I think. And you could see the bright spots there throughout the season. Absolutely,
Drew. And essentially, only but 3 players are not eligible to return next year. Technically, 2 of them, with Braxton Whitehead and John Babcock moving on to NCAA Division I programs. Ewan Huey, who's already signed a pro contract in Switzerland for next year. And the Pats essentially have their 20-year-old set for next season as well, with Kelton Pine returning, as well as Ephraim McNutt and Caden Brown. This is still a very young team heading into next season, Drew.
Yeah, they're likely to have those 3 20-year-olds like you mentioned, but there was a lot of 16-year-olds on this team that will still just be 17 next year. So that's why I say, competing for one of the final playoff spots would maybe be the very early expectations, but still a team that could take a pretty significant jump, after this offseason. There's rookie camp. There might still be some deals swung in the offseason, and then in training camp, if you can get down to the Brand Center, you'll probably see some pretty young, bright faces.
And of course, coming up in early April is the WHL Draft Lottery. Now, the Regina Pats have an opportunity to potentially get that number 1 pick based off where they are in the standings at the time that we do this video, Drew. But also, they have another first-round pick, as well as 3 second-round picks and 2 third-round picks as well.
Yeah, that was a lot of the deals that were done by Al Miller were to get picks and to really stock up and fill the cupboard up. So it's the most picks the Pats have had in a long time, especially in the first round with the 2 picks. And we don't know quite yet where that first one will land. Hey, it could be first overall. We'll know after early April, and we all know local product Maddox Schultz is up for grabs, so fans are going to be anxiously awaiting the results of that.
Yeah, I know a lot of fans have been going to the Cooperators to watch those playoff games as well. Good luck, by the way, to the Regina Pat Canadians who go to the league final at the U18 circuit. But as we wrap up this pre-group, Drew, this is obviously our final preview of the season. What excited you the most about this Pats team? Who were some of the players that you were most impressed with this year?
Well, I really like when Julian Mays came from the Everett Silvertips. I thought, it could have been tough for him to continue to put up offensive numbers that he put up with a very good team in Everett, but he continued to score at a reasonable pace with a team that, struggled a bit offensively this year. And let's not forget Kelton Pine. He had a tremendous season, especially before Christmas, was unbeatable on some nights. And then Ewan Huey stepped up as well after Christmas. So those are some of the guys. And, obviously the young players like Cohen Clausen and Zach Lansard and Cameron Kuzma. There's so many to name, and it just talks about, how young the team is. But if I can name a few, those were some of the guys I really were impressed with.
Awesome, Drew. Well said. And that will do it for the final preview of this season. Thank you for watching all of our previews and supporting the Regina Pats over the course of the season. The future is bright with a lot of draft picks picked up by Pats General Manager Alan Miller, and hopefully some good news when it comes down to the lottery in the next couple of weeks. All right, get to the Brand Center tonight. Puck drops at 6. Doors open at 5. We'll see you tonight.